Well, hello there, motherfuckers. It is time for your Raw preview. So, a bunch of YWC fanboys are complaining about Payback. They say it's a horrible show. It raped their mother. It was a horrible show. And, they can't take life anymore. You know, how can you go on with Payback? As I said, it wasn't the best of shows, but it wasn't the worst one either. We're all gonna live. It's not like the show was destroying our brains or anything. Nothing, yeah, you did have the Montreal screw job that wasn't even in Montreal, but besides that, the pay per view was decent. If you couldn't tolerate that pay per view, then, serious, how everybody says that I shouldn't watch anymore. Do yourselves a favor and don't watch it. Because if you think that that was bad, you've been ignoring the past 15 years of the shit they've been putting out. For God fucking sakes, it wasn't that bad. Calm the fuck down. Calm down and get a fucking grip on reality. So there's nothing really announced for tonight, no matches, pretty much the segments. We know that Shane is probably going to kick off the show with Stephanie. They'll make matches, maybe something for Extreme Rules, probably an Intercontinental title match or number one contenders match. Maybe they're going to do Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, or maybe Cesaro, Owens, and Zayn in the triple threat. That's my best guess there. Throw Zack Ryder in there. For God's sakes, give the boy a fucking chance. Give the guy a fucking chance. That's all I'm saying. But, people are complaining. It's, Stephanie, and I'm not crazy about it either. It's not that I hate Stephanie. Stephanie used to be good, but, she was just being fucking annoying. Even on the fucking pay per view. She's making my ears fucking bleed, for God's sakes. People say that Vicky Guerrero was better than her. You're on fucking drugs. You must be fucking smoking crack up your fucking ass if you think that Vicky Guerrero was better than Stephanie. Give me a break. But at least Triple H isn't there. At least we don't have to hear Stephanie saying to get on our knees and bow down to the king and all that lame cliche bullshit we keep on hearing, or we kept on hearing. Triple H is gone. They're keeping him off of TV, maybe because they want to try to, switch it up a bit. The same old shit with Triple H. This way, take Triple H away, keep Stephanie there, and it's a little bit different. It's still Stephanie. It's just one less person, but Shane and Stephanie kind of seem like they're getting along, which is a little bit weird. You would think it'd be more like Stone Cold and Eric Bischoff. Like, you remember when they were co-GMs? You would think that it would be a little bit combative, but they seem like right away they're taking to each other. I don't get it. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Once again, I'm not really understand. I didn't touch on this in my payback review, but Shane is holding the ropes for Stephanie. Didn't Stephanie want Shane to get killed by the Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell? Pretty much. I mean, now they're like getting along just instantly. McMahon says he wants to see his kids slit their throats, each other's throats, and suddenly they're just getting along. I mean, where's the transition there? You see what I'm saying? All of a sudden they're working together. It's not really a lot of continuity there. Continuity was in the same fucking show, for God's sakes. You also got enough of that shit. Let's talk about something else. It seems like they are going with what I mentioned in my payback review. For those that didn't watch my payback review, let me explain, or didn't see payback. During the Charlotte Natalia match at payback, Charlotte put Natalia in the fucking sharpshooter, and then all of a sudden the referee Charles Robinson randomly rings the bell. Millions of people are confused. They don't know what the fuck is going on. For 1 second, JBL, says, "Oh, Charles Robinson used to be Little NAITCH." And now I'm reading the Raw preview, and this is what they're going with. This is what they're going with, motherfuckers. Taking a storyline that they haven't continued or mentioned ever in WWE, unless you were a fan of WCW back in 1999 when this was going on. For a short time, Ric Flair was feuding with the Macho Man, and what they had here was Macho Man had Gorgeous George. He had a porn star girlfriend, and they were having her face off against Ric Flair's protege, the referee Charles Robinson, who they dressed up like Ric Flair because he had blonde hair. That was good enough. Just because the guy had blonde hair, they put a robe on him. And I'm not going to knock it. It was funny. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it for what it was. Not the best storyline of all time, but a forgotten storyline. They never mentioned this ever in WWE. Never even mentioned it in the Ric Flair DVDs. Never even showed it. I forget if it was mentioned in this book, maybe briefly, maybe like a blurb about it. Now all of a sudden, 1999, 17 motherfucking years later, 17 years of not even hearing about this storyline, all of a sudden they are putting it into a storyline in 2016, 17, 16 years later. How the hell did they justify this? How did they get away with something like this? You know, they're targeting young fans. They weren't even alive during this time. They were in their mama's womb. Or maybe not even. I mean, I don't get it. A storyline from when I was 10 fucking years old, 10, 11, 12 years old, whenever the hell was it 1999? I was about to be 12. I was about to be 12 years old. Keep in mind, I am 28 going on 29 in October. Eh, and they are continuing. I'm sitting down watching a pay per view in my 20s about a storyline when I wasn't even a teenager yet. Holy motherfucking shit. They must be smoking crack up their ass. And I know I used that already, but I have to say that is the only explanation there. They got to be doing crystal meth. And I'm talking about the good shit, the Breaking Bad kind, because motherfuckers, that this is the most insane thing I ever heard. They just changed the Divas division to the women's division. They're trying everything in their power to try to put more credibility into it. They put Bret Hart out there. They try to, put a lot of pizzazz into the women's division match. And then they come up with this random fucking finish. I'm sorry if I'm going on and on about this, but I just don't fucking understand it. How the hell did they get this in their heads? Were they just like watching the network? Did they give these lame ass creative guys? I mean, and Vince McMahon, the anti WCW guy. McMahon doesn't like anything about WCW, doesn't believe in the continuity of WCW. All of a sudden, this fucking madman at 70 years old fucking decides to continue a WCW storyline out of nowhere. You know, this guy should be locked up in a mental institution. For real. I mean, what? Ha, no, yeah, classic. Ha, indeed. Because I can't fathom where they came up with the idea that this was a good idea. It's bad enough that the finish, this is, did they know that this was what they were going to go with? Because either way, it's stupid. Even if there wasn't any explanation, and that was just a way of pissing Bret Hart off to put Ric Flair in the sharpshooter, just so they could have that graphic, so they could take a photo of it. They should have just maybe left it like that with no explanation, because this explanation, it's so far fetched. I can't even believe they came up with it. But this is confirmed. Go read the preview. They're referring to Charles Robinson as Little NAITCH. They didn't even explain it on the pay-per-view. Just before they transition to the next segment, to the next match, JBL mentions it, just like a little bit. He just says, well, Charles Robinson used to be referred to as Little NAITCH. That is the explanation that we are given. This short 10-second explanation. No one even knows, where the hell this came from. If you never watched WCW, and there's a great number of people who've probably never even seen any WCW, just the little clips and maybe the Alliance, but there's some people who haven't seen that much WCW. And the chances are that you saw that 2-month storyline, not even, and you saw the match with Gorgeous George and Charles Little NAITCH Robinson. The chances are slim as fuck. I can't even believe that I remember that inconsequential storyline. I always kept it in my mind when I saw Charles Robinson, but many people, I'm sure, don't even remember it. Anyway, there's your preview. I'm sure they might have some interesting stuff, because we're in a new era, guys. How much do people want to bet that Roman Reigns is going to use that same line? I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy. Can't wait to hear that doozy. Can't wait to hear that motherfucking line for the 16th time in the span of like 3 weeks. Holy fucking shit. Um, we might, we might see fucking, what the hell's his name? Finn Balor. Can't even remember his name. That's how important he is. I'm just kidding. Want to see Finn Balor. Would be awesome if they could have AJ, Balor, Anderson, and Luke Gallows together, a 4-man team. The more guys they get in the group, the more impressive it will be. Not sure if that's going to happen, but, the fans want it. Social media demands it. So, yeah, there you go, motherfuckers. There's your Raw preview.